What's up everybody, King of Fomo here, coming at you with a daily crypto update. In this video today, I'm going to bring you guys an old school gem. If you guys watched my channel before, I was really a gem hunter when it came to Ethereum based coins that were just coming out. And long ago, I actually had many coins that would 10x or even 100x within a short time span. And this is very similar to another coin that we're going to talk about in a second. And I do think that this gem has a 100x potential. Now, of course, things can go sideways, things can go perfectly, things can go completely and totally wrong. So there's never a guarantee. But if you listen to me, you'll kind of understand why I think this does have potential, like something that we saw about a year ago. Before I get into that, if you guys want to get these videos early, 2-3 days earlier than everybody else, then head on over to my Patreon and select a membership level. There you're gonna get two things, obviously my videos 2 to 3 days early and access to my Discord where we're talking a lot about NFTs if you guys are into that space. And I'm starting to find some success with those as well. But in this video in particular, it's going to be very helpful because if you're watching this on YouTube and not a Patreon, you'll see that it is very helpful to find these types of gems as early as possible. So that is something for you guys neck deep into crypto, that Patreon page. So getting right back into business, what is Anti-Ample? Anti-Ample is a coin that you might remember from about a year ago. So it was kind of a sequel to Ampleforth. It was hyper deflationary and it burned a ton of its supply. Now, obviously, the majority of the coins that we've talked about a year ago, most all cryptocurrencies do end up failing or not doing very well in the long run. Very, very few of them actually stand the test of time and survive. Anti-Ample is not an exception to this. This is one that did end up failing. But I'm going to remind you guys of another coin that I talked about a while ago that was a 100x that also ended up failing, and that one is Moonday. So Anti-Ample is, I think it's built from the same team that made Moonday. Now, what that means is they're basically resurrecting a dead coin. Moonday was a coin that I think was dumped by the developers and ended up being bought up. The majority of the supply was bought up by the Moonday team. They resurrected it. I talked about it at about like $10. It went up to $1,000. So that was a nice 100x for a lot of people that jumped on that opportunity very early. Now, of course, like I said, in most things in crypto, it did end up crashing later on, but that's the way that it goes for most of these cryptocurrencies. If you guys find them early, you can make big gains. If you find them late, you can make big losses. And this is as early as possible for Anti-Ample. So same case here, you're having a cryptocurrency, and we'll read through this in a second, that is already sort of dead and is being bought up. The supply is being bought up to be able to sustain this new kind of contract for it, at least for the short term. So let's take a look at this. It's going to pretty much function the same way as Moonday. You're going to be able to stake the coin. We'll scroll down here. This gives you some token details about what it was if you're curious about that. And what you're going to be able to do is right here, you will be able to earn 5% a day until you earn 190%. So if you put in 100 coins of Anti-Ample coins, then by the time you have, what is that, 200 and that's actually going to be an extra 190 coins of Anti-Ample, 190%. Then it's going to stop paying you out and you can end up selling that. You can restake it. You can do a lot of different things with your approach on what you're going to do with those 5% daily. So you're going to be starting off at a loss after you stake until you get to 100%, and then until you get to 190%, those are your gains, and you can do what you wish with that. So there's some added things to this that you guys can take a look at right here. Obviously, we have our Haze crypto audit. So this is a pretty big deal right here. You guys can read through this audit to see that there's, at least according to them, there's nothing shady about the contract. So you guys can read through that. I'm not going to baby you through that. So that's a really, really good thing. They have their coin market cap and CoinGecko. If we take a look at CoinGecko over here, this is the Anti-Ample coin price, 0.0039 cents. It is a rebase token. I'm not sure if it still rebases, but that is a functionality that it has similar to Ampleforth. I'm not going to get too much into that either. And there's some other kind of functionalities of the coin that I'm not sure if they're still operable, and that's kind of their burning of the supply. Originally, this is a token that had, I think, 1 billion tokens. And if we take a look at Etherscan right now, it's pretty much about half of that at 500 million tokens. So this is a token that burns itself a lot. And Moonday was similar. It had like a burn mechanism in that. And that really, like, all the ingredients are here to be similar to what happened with Moonday with the burns and the staking. So I think that that's why this anti-ample has a 100x potential if it can grab that same community that anti-ample had before and more, and maybe even the Moonday community as well. So a lot of the ingredients are here for this thing to be successful. But of course, I've been wrong about many things in the past. I've been right about many things in the past. We'll see what happens. So scrolling down here, this is the staking for it. You can stake any amount of anti-ample. The APY is 190%. And that's over the course of a few days, 5% a day. And so you get to 190% right there. You can claim your rewards. But of course, you know, a year ago when we were talking about this stuff on the Ethereum blockchain, Moonday, etc., gas fees were not as crazy as they are right now. But do keep in mind, if you're going to try this out, if you're going to want to stake anti-ample coins, make sure you buy a pretty hefty amount and you do it all at once, because those gas fees are going to eat you alive if you don't do this. So, you know, if you're buying a large amount and you claim once every couple weeks, then it should end up that you're going to be coming out in profit and you won't have those massive gas fees to kind of compete with. So do keep that in mind. It's the same thing with NFTs, and anybody who's on the Ethereum network, you guys know what the gas fees are. So just keep that in mind. Since this is a smart contract, it's going to eat up some more gas than just sending back and forth to each other. So that is everything. I just want to give you guys a quick update on this, and you know, I'm going to be trying it out. I don't know how much I'm going to be staking, but again, I'm going to make my decision on a nice chunky amount and hold it for a little bit of time before I claim my rewards. So that's kind of the last thing. It's going to play out a little bit differently than we saw with Moonday, because you can't have as many people having the freedom to just claim and sell and buy and do all this stuff. The whole Ethereum ecosystem has changed. But you know, even with those high fees and you know, what seems like negativity around moving coins around in Ethereum, NFTs are very successful. So can't see why something like this can't be successful either. Let me know what you guys think about this. And again, this is a time sensitive video. So those of you who are on my Patreon, you're able to get these anti-ample tokens before everyone else, because you have a few days early to buy it. If you're watching on YouTube, then consider heading on over to that Patreon page so you can get these gems early. I can't promise you that I'm going to keep bringing you guys gems like this. This is kind of a once in a blue moon type of thing. I am focusing a little bit more on NFTs and Cardano right now. So I'm still really digging my toes into the research for that, as opposed to spitting out video after video about things I'm not really sure about. But this is a gem for those of you guys who kind of want to throw back to gems of old in Uniswap coins. All right, guys, that is everything for today. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.